All right, we are live with 0 people. I'm not sure if anything is being broadcasted because usually when we schedule these, YouTube sends out a notification saying, "Hey, Common Living Works are about to stream," but we don't see that on our end at all. And so we're using this, I guess, right now as a test, possibly.
Yeah, basically. I'm trying to go through kind of on my phone and see if
Oh, there we go.
maybe it's showing up.
It says
It's
on my
showing up.
phone.
Okay.
So on my phone, it showed up that we are now live. That's really weird. So it's probably going to be a while before we get anything in here because nobody has
Yeah.
any
Oh, it
notice.
says now 7 watching. So
Oh,
we're
9.
getting
Oh,
there.
it's jumped up. Mine was 0
And
for the longest time.
we might be struggling, just so you guys know. I can see on my phone there's no comments, or there's some comments on my phone, but not. Oh,
yeah,
there they are. Whew. This is weird.
Yo, what's up? Release Zack Snyder's Justice League, social distancing, and chill. Yes, I am supporting local businesses.
Yeah, someone's prepared, but not so much.
The true victim out of all this.
Yeah,
Corona.
Yeah, it's Corona. Oh, I thought you were gonna say small businesses. There we go. We're up to 12 people.
Yeah. So this is gonna just kind of be a chill live stream, guys. No real planned topics, really, for the most part. Figured a lot of people might be quarantined, and let's have some fucking discussions.
We definitely are. We have a little bit more free time than we typically do.
Right.
At least I know I do. Belief infection. Yeah.
Oh, did I actually? Oh yeah. Did I actually say it though?
I hope not.
I am drinking a Corona Light. Oh no, Corona Extra beer. You know they have premium now. Anybody ever have premium? Anybody that's
premium of that type of beer? I don't even know if we could say. I feel like it's Voldemort, like the beer that shall not be named, the virus that shall not be named. We're really trying to monetize here. So
Las cervezas más fina.
Nice. There you go.
I don't know how to say that last
one. Watching your channel, Bourbon and Chill. There we go. Nice.
No Bourbon and Chill, keep it classy. Hell yeah, that's what we do, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I had a lot more time. So kind of a little bit of backstory.
As you can tell by 2 videos in 1 week.
Yeah. Woo. I know. And I came back. I made it. But
that's 3 technically with the live stream, actually.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah, that's right. You were across the border.
Exactly. But so we took a trip to Southern California. My family and I took a trip to Southern California. And upon returning, I returned to work. And then shortly thereafter, my work says, "Hey, we need you to be quarantined because you traveled to Anaheim, you traveled to California, which is considered high risk. So we need you to not leave your house and for 14 days since the day that you got back." Now, I got back on the 13th of March. So 14 days from that, this should have been my technically return day. Whole bunch of mess later. And basically, I had to be quarantined from Monday to Wednesday. And then they said, "Oh, you can come back on Thursday." I also spent half the time at work. So it was random. But it actually allowed me to, as Matt said, knock out a couple more episodes. I've watched a crap load of just nonsense. Nothing probably that is important, or people will be like, "Oh, I'm sure you checked out, whatever." Like one of them that is on my list, but I just never got around to watching is Bloodshot. But for everything else, for everything else that I watched, I'm just kind of like, "Oh, what do I feel like watching now?" My son and I and my wife, we watched some random movies every night. We have tonight in the Shane household, it's Inside Out is airing. So if you've ever seen that before, that's what you want to watch. A bunch of random stuff like that. So
I do kind of want to talk about this. So I know what you're talking about, the AMW. So apparently, even though it's not as big as it originally was, like all these fast food chains now are saying release a Snyder cut. There was the A&W root beer. Wendy's finally said it. And then Zack Snyder chimed in with United. So now it's like unite the fast food chains in their dire need. I just had Wendy's earlier to support them.
Nice.
Now for dinner.
There you go.
So I had a nice spicy jalapeno chicken sandwich.
Drive through, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Drive through hard, real hard. So yeah, like Shane said, well, actually, let's go to these questions. For once, we're going to try to best to pay attention to the comment section. Somehow I look back at these and we miss so much, and I don't know how. I don't know if YouTube doesn't show us these comments.
Yeah,
stuff, but I'll see other people.
Well.
I'll see other comments and stuff. I'm like, I never saw those. Like, how did those get biased at all? You got, oh yeah, you guys, fucking Minute Dice
man,
podcast, man.
You're working hard there, bud. There's a lot of.
I actually saw the Roman Reigns not wrestling in WrestleMania update from him. So check him out, guys.
Nice.
Like I saw it before anybody else. And I was like, what the hell? Oh shit. And then like everybody else the next day we're doing it. So
yeah, man, at this point, not to get too much into wrestling, because I know only a handful of our followers like wrestling, but man, the whole WrestleMania thing is still crazy to me. I can't believe they're not going to cancel it. It's
the show must go on.
I guess. One of the things I did watch while we're on the wrestling topic, and it's fantastic if you haven't seen it yet, is called Dark Side of the Ring. And it's done by Vice TV. I'm almost positive it's free. You just download the app or get on their website and you can watch it. And I watched all of the first season. I think it came out in 2017, but I actually watched it last year in 2019. The entire first season is fantastic. Second season was already off to a better start. And Chris Benoit was the death of Chris Benoit. If you're familiar, if you're not familiar, I say check it out, even if you're not a wrestling fan. Some of the stuff that goes on, you know, a little bit behind the scenes and stuff is just so fascinating to me. And that was a tearjerker for sure. So definitely check out Dark Side of the Ring. It's fantastic. I watched both those episodes.
Roman Reigns got a little sand in his vagina, and he got scared of Goldberg, and he didn't want to wrestle him. So he's not going to be wrestling Goldberg. No, he has a compromise. I guess he has leukemia. I think it is. Is it?
Yeah, he had leukemia. Yeah.
So he has a compromised immune system. So he feels uncomfortable with the interaction and everything like that because he has a compromised immune system with those things going on right now. So that's it's still real to me. Damn it, that's one of my favorite. One of the best ones. But so anyway, Liz, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are staying safe, very safe. Fucking always safe.
So is Nevada on lockdown?
Fucking dumbass. Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
It's not talking about you, Jose.
No.
It's talking about our governor. So basically, aside from the essential businesses, which I'm assuming everyone probably knows what the essentials are: gas, food, grocery, restaurants can stay open, but they have to have
nitrogen pumps.
Yeah.
I was told we were essential. We got a thing. We're essential. Liquid nitrogen pumps are essential.
Nice. I was wondering. I was going to ask you off air, but yeah. So
we power the world.
Of course. So if you're a restaurant, you can stay open, but you have to have drive-through or like a window access or delivery. A lot of places can carry out. Thank you. But aside from that,
pretty much out the window at you.
Pretty much. I've seen one of Matt's.
You got a window, you're open.
One of Matt's favorite local places. I follow them on Instagram. Their name is Beefies, and they put in like a makeshift little window, and they're like, "Look, we're doing carry out." It's fantastic. I'm like, nice.
That place is already a disease center.
Everyone's trying. It's a little hole in the wall. It's fantastic, but it's a little hole in the wall.
It doesn't even give holes in the walls of fucking representation. Yeah. So the one thing about Nevada that blows me away is that they closed down all the casinos. So everything in Las Vegas, everything here in Reno where we're at. And I just don't know if anybody can really imagine how many employees that a casino hires in just every possible stages, from house cleaning to the cooks to the house cleaner, to just so many variations of employment that are just. I think the last thing I heard was that there was almost 95,000 people filed for unemployment.
Yeah, because
of it. It's a huge thing. It's a huge deal here. And a lot of businesses rely on the casinos to pay for their services. You know, if you're a meat company, you know, you get a lot of your meat sold to the casinos. You know, if you're a lot of people rely on those casinos and stuff. So it's a huge deal. And this guy like closed them down for the indefinitely until he sees fit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, basically. So whatever the decision is. And something also that is interesting about our area is we have a pretty big hub for a lot of distribution centers. Tesla actually, it is considered non-essential. I from one of the articles that I found.
It is non-essential, but strippers and other ones have been doing house calls.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I mean, have you personally done it? I'm saying,
have I personally done it?
Have you seen these things that they're doing or like strippers have been doing Uber Eats in their
Yeah.
stripper gear.
Those the
So they'll
ones
come
that I've
up with-
seen were in where Oregon, and it's Boober Eats. So
Yeah.
thank God for Oregon. Yeah, it's fantastic. But we have a hub here for a lot of distribution centers, and apparently, if you are any sort of warehouse distribution work, you can stay open. But that is at the discretion of the company itself. And we have Tesla here that they build. I want to say, I haven't toured the facility or anything, but I want to say they build the batteries at the warehouse that's in our area. And they are supposedly laying off 75% of their workers, I want to say, because there's no work. You know, people aren't buying cars and stuff right now. So that's where, even though you might fall into the category of, yeah, you can stay open, that's where kind of, you know, Nevada, I think just in general is struggling. And yeah, all down south, we're northern Nevada where we're at, but I guess
We're the
Vegas
hemorrhoid
is
of
struggling.
California. All these
Pretty much.
fucking Californians have ruined this great city of ours. And my California girlfriend's yelling from the living room now. Yeah, so we were going to talk about some of the movies that we've done. Oh yeah, no problem, man. Just no problem. Don't get frustrated. It's all good to go, man. That's what I mean. This is the thing I was trying to explain earlier to someone, was that like nothing's really changed. There's still STDs. You still get the flu. You can still get the cold, other colds. I mean, there's plenty of different things. I mean, Reno has never been a sanitary city. So like all these people that are walking around with masks and gloves, I'm like, really? Do you know how many motherfuckers have rubbed their asses on everything that you've ever touched? And then you grab your cell phone later on and start talking on it, put it up against your face.
Right.
But you never washed that. Yeah, fucking dildo. It's just so I don't know. It just drives me nuts here. It's just like this place has never been like a sanitary place at all. If you've ever been in like a downtown casino area and stuff, like there's just
Oh yeah, our downtown is where you avoid. If you are from here, you do not go downtown unless you absolutely positively have to, because if there's an event or something like that. We have a minor league baseball team that's the affiliate for the San Francisco. Oh no, not the Giants,
Diamondbacks.
the Diamondbacks. Yeah. So for the Diamondbacks, we have a D League basketball team. And then
do they even play here anymore? Do the Bighorns even play?
I have no idea. But in that same, it's a convention center, and there's a lot of concerts and stuff. And I dread going down there all the time. It's a disaster. There's homeless people. There's bums. Apparently,
homeless and bums. There's
homeless and bums. Yeah. But yeah, you definitely avoid downtown and go more to the outskirts. That's the beauty of Reno for sure. So yeah, it's a weird city.
Yeah.
It's in the eye of the beholder, asshole.
Snyder cut announcement soon. I don't know. What's your block? Like 3 years? If it's that, then yeah, I can give you that one much. Yeah. I mean, maybe someday, for sure. It's happening. I don't think anybody can deny it at this point. It's happening. It's just right now we have a pandemic, everyone. The pandemic. Ooh, there we go. That one.
Plug.
So you know, that's obviously going to slow a lot of things down. And plus what he wants to do. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, the real question, is it amazing? No, it's brilliant and golden. That's what the other words were. And yeah, so there you go.
I'm assuming talking about downtown, or you have homeless bums as well.
Oh well, I will say that our bums do not line up anywhere near California. Like have you ever been to downtown San Diego? They have a metropolis down there of bums.
Oh yeah,
the tent cities. Have you ever seen the tent cities?
Ours is getting there. Unfortunately, we have like a highway and then a railroad that runs right next to the highway, and in between there's like a tent city that's being built.
One stick at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, so we kind of wanted to see what everybody was doing during the quarantine time. If you are being quarantined in any way, like, are you playing any video games, any movies? We've seen a lot of stuff. One thing I've learned is I've watched back a lot of things that I've already seen somewhat, and I've realized don't go back and see childhood movies at all. because
Oh,
holy crap,
au
does that
contraire.
au contraire. I guess there's some childhood movies that might hold up.
All
So I
right. So,
rewatched Space Jam.
oh no, really? Not
I
good.
mean, the Looney Tunes part is great. That still holds up, Bugs and all them and everything. But holy fuck, is Michael Jordan a terrible actor? Charles Barkley, all of them.
Okay.
And
Good to know.
the only one that says that is Bill Murray. Like, he's the only one. And
Bill
he
Murray's
knew what he was
fantastic.
doing. And I
Yeah.
just watched it and I was like, holy fuck, this movie is
Over the top.
bad. But it's still got the greatest soundtrack of all time.
Yeah, of course. Well, when the new one comes out, I typically, anytime a new movie comes out, I try to watch the older stuff. So I probably would have done that. And yeah, I could see there's definitely some of those movies there. I actually went and rewatched. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but I rewatched episodes 1 through 3 of Star Wars, and I was very.
What, you guys got plague or like what is that?
Oh no, please. That's where we got to build the wall. I'm sorry, Dan. You can jump over to Nevada, but
no, don't stay. Don't bring that shit over here. I've always protested that we should build a wall in California.
Yeah, that's really where the area is where it should go.
That's where it matters, because they're right now Californians are infecting Nevada and Texas and Idaho. Like
Original Ninja. So the first one is good.
I've been seeing it on Netflix and I've been tempted to do it.
Yeah,
but I'm scared.
If you haven't watched The Toys That Made Us, also is a fantastic docu-series. Did you watch that one? That one.
I've seen it. I wouldn't call it a fantastic docu-series, but
I like it.
I like it, but I hate the way they edit it and I hate the way they narrate it. It's like for fucking people with ADD, and it's just spastic all the time, like changing edits and stuff. Oh, it drives me nuts. It does hold up. Does 2 hold up? Because I'm worried about 2.
Yeah,
because I love 2.
You did? Is that the secret of the ooze? Is 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that's. I don't think I like that one.
You didn't like that one?
No.
Oh, I like it for all the wrong reasons.
Okay.
I mean, I know the fighting sucked and everything, but Super Shredder, even though he dies in the most punk ass way, I thought was one of the greatest things. And Vanilla Ice. I mean,
yeah, of course.
What about Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just about to address this. I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I have not watched it in recent memories. Probably, I know it's been since my wife and I got together, so maybe within the last 10 years I've seen it, and I feel like it's still held up. Maybe I'd have to watch it again, but 3 is pretty oof.
The Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Beetlejuice are the best PG movies of all time.
Have you watched Who Framed?
Oh yeah, I watched it somewhat recently.
Okay,
probably within the last couple months or so.
Nice. That's from what I remember, it was fantastic.
Oh, it's great, and the sexual innuendos are awesome. That's why it's the best PG movie of all time. Exactly. And the same with Beetlejuice. It's the only PG movie I've ever seen in my life that has fuck in it.
Kevin Nash Super Shredder for the win. Yeah. I remember not really liking 2 that much. Maybe I'll have to watch it again. But
I don't think it'll hold up. No. It looks different. One is I think it's pretty solid. But I don't know. I just like 2 at the end of it, because even though those guys weren't Bebop or Rocksteady, I kind of just used my imagination that they were.
They made it Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like the more recent movies of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did better. For Bebop and Rocksteady, from what I remember.
Those are terrible.
I know Sheamus, the pro wrestler. Yeah, well, Beetlejuice is
nice fucking model.
Spaceballs. So I've been on this Star Wars kick, and I really want to revisit Spaceballs because I have not seen that movie in forever.
Power of the Schwartz, man.
Yeah, it has been a really long time, so I hope it's as good as I remember. But for Star Wars 1 through 3, I kind of already told this to Matt. And number 2 was the one that I was a little bit like bored of, and I made it like halfway through. I thought you were pulling out a knife there. But I don't know. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I've just been on a Star Wars kick. I finished The Mandalorian on this whole quarantine and everything, and I actually really enjoyed them. And Star Wars Episode 3, I think is fantastic.
Mel Brooks is so underrated. I feel like not enough people talk about him. Because I don't know a bad Mel Brooks movie.
Different era, maybe. I don't know. Men in Tights, though, man. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. I love it.
Oh, I know, Men in Tights. Fuck. I mean, Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
Like,
Saddles.
I think Blazing Saddles gets funnier because of PC culture. Like the fact that everybody keeps getting more tight-lipped on things, the funnier Blazing Saddles.
That's
becomes.
probably also why you can't really talk about Mel Brooks right now, because I'm sure if you said, "Oh, I love Mel Brooks movies," they'd be like, "Oh, he's a racist," or whatever. Whatever people want to find a reason to complain about. But because there's even in Men in Tights, there's a couple a Jew.
Yeah. Hey, Blinken. I said Abe. Did you say Abe Lincoln? No, I said hey,
Hey,
Blinken. Dude, and all Airplane, of course. Airplane is just Airplane is it. It's so, I don't want to say corny because it's not like corny, but it's just like, it's so simple. It's just like constant jokes. It's that run. It's this just joke. There's not a serious damn moment in the movie at all, but somehow it works so well.
Yeah. Over the top. Oh, I forgot about Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yes, that one's fantastic as well. I think I'm gonna have to revisit Spaceballs. Maybe I'll have to find it on like Amazon
Coming to America.
Fucking
coming to. I don't know anybody watches UFC, but Israel Adesanya came out with the Coming to America fucking presentation. Whatever, he came out because UFC's well, at least he's trying to bring back like the old Pride days where it's like wrestling where they have these big theatrical entrances and stuff,
which is fantastic.
And after I saw that, I had to watch Coming to America just because he did that. I was like, man,
is Coming to America is not a Mel Brooks film, is it?
I don't think so. I just saw.
Oh, okay. He's just on that. I was like, oh, that seems weird.
Yeah, and so one thing too about having so much time, I actually for the last couple months, I've been out from work because I had a surgery, so paid. So I'm not dying or anything. I'm not struggling or anything. So I was paid, and I got to watch a lot of things. And like I said, I rewatched a lot of things. For instance, the British Top Gear and stuff. I rewatched a bunch of that. Then I also watched a couple things of new things too. I don't know if anybody ever watched that Z Nation, the zombie kind of comedy show or whatever from Sci-Fi Channel. I thought that was kind of interesting. I watched a couple seasons of that one, and just several other just random fucking movies, and then a lot of movies I just watched 100 times over and over again. 300, I think, was one. Ford v Ferrari, I watched a dozen times.
Nice.
So it was a lot of revisiting, and some things were new here and there. So I'm not good with new.
I downloaded some movies to my phone from I have Vudu is where I buy most of my movies from, and so I downloaded Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, and when I did this so that on my car ride, so when we took the trip to Southern California, it was in a car, and I have 3 kids. So it takes us 12 and a half hours roughly. I think we did 1 in 11. It takes a long time. So I was like, I'm going to throw on a movie and just basically listen to the sound. And I already knew the dialogue was fantastic in both of those movies. The score was fantastic in both of those movies. But it's such a different way to watch a movie when you're just listening to it. And so, I mean, I guess I rewatched them, but it's so fantastic. And then I had like, we rented a minivan too. You know, I was dadding it up for sure.
You bitch.
But it had like Bose surround
You were
sound.
Mr. I would never be in a minivan. And
I said I would never own a minivan.
Okay.
So we rented one. This is a different story. But
the only time I've ever been in a minivan was for a fucking bachelor party. See, that's how you do it.
In a minivan.
You pull up to the strip club in a minivan.
That's awesome.
Everybody pours
the
out.
back.
Yes, there you go, Matt, with the Corona. I am supporting who's really struggling during this time. This very small business right here. Got to support them in any way they can. Trust me, because this shit's stacked in the grocery store. I'm surprised it wasn't more on sale, to be honest. But they had everything: Corona Extra Light, this premium, which I've never heard of, and a bunch of different versions. And they had just stacks of them. I'm like, man, this poor business, these poor guys, just they try to make an honest living.
Yeah,
in Mexico. I can hear the sadness in your heart.
Nice. I do have I have quite a bit of physical media in terms of movies and stuff, but I buy a lot of, so Man of Steel actually is what turned me on to Voodoo when I first got the tickets.
Turn-ons, everyone.
Oh yeah, it's Voodoo. When I first got the tickets for Man of Steel in the Walmart, we've kind of told this story before. They actually had immediately like a free copy of Man of Steel once it hits Blu-ray or whatever. So I got my physical copy Blu-ray and then got the digital one, and it was pretty much uploaded, just had to sign up for an account. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And so any of them, I own Batman vs Superman physical copy as well as the digital. And then some of the other movies, like I own Suicide Squad, but it's on Vudu. I own just a lot of like ones that I don't really care about the extras. I just want the movie itself. I put on Vudu. And then the cool thing about the Vudu service is a random plug for them, but you could actually upload some of your physical movies onto it, and then you can carry them with you or whatever. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's I haven't done that. I don't really have the time. Maybe in this quarantine, that's what I'll do. But turn offs.
Ford Escorts.
No way, man. That Ford Escort was fantastic. It was maroon, but it was great. Good times. Chrysler LeBaron.
I was about to say LeBarons.
Small backseat, but it gets the job done.
This motherfucker had a Chrysler LeBaron with a tiny back seat, and for a while he just had this giant sub box just sitting in the back seat. It was so ridiculous.
What's even more ridiculous is I got it from someone and they took one of the subs, so I had a dual sub box, but one was a hole and then the other one was the sub. So in the hole, I don't know if you remember this, but I would put my binders for high school in the hole to kind of like keep them organized. And then the front, my car got broken into. It was a sweet convertible. They cut the convertible top, jacked my stereo, so I get a new stereo, but I don't have it put in professionally. So if I gas it too hard, the stereo would slide out. So I had like papers and stuff kind of jammed in to try to keep the stereo in. It was, when we're talking trailer trash, that's not just a gimmick, man. That's a real thing.
Well, because even where he's talking about that his car was broken into, that was supposed to be like this huge thing because those were brand new apartments. And those are the nicest thing that I've ever been in. It came with these nice big washers and dryer. Like fucking, they paid for a bunch of stuff, but that
the
was
square footage too of these apartments was huge. Like for our area, it was, you cannot find anything else that was that size.
Dude, that fucking master bedroom closet was like damn near the size of the room I'm in now. Like that closet was massive. It was so big. You could rent that out to another small family. Like it was not that big. It was crazy how big that thing was. I had a bed and like that bed was just tiny in that bedroom. Anyway, but that place was huge, but it was the ghetto.
Oh yeah,
so hard. Yeah. And I mean, it was next to one of the worst high schools in the area called Hug, also known as Thug.
Yep.
Thug High.
Thug High. Yep.
And
we're not making this stuff up either.
That one's about to be closed because they're going to build a new one on some rich people's golf course. And
pretty much like that. Again, true story.
Yeah. Hi, Royal Wakefield. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everybody that's still joining. We're just having a chill stream, just talking about all the things that we've watched and done while maybe you're being quarantined. Ask us anything, really. I mean, anything, really, at this point. Personal or not, I really don't give a shit. I have nothing to hide, except for a couple things.
I have a lot to
hide. Kids watch the show.
Yeah.
Did Daddy really do this?
Actually, they were our first subscribers, so
they're OG. You want to know what OG is? That's OG.
We were trying to inflate our numbers. Actually, this is a kind of funny throwback story, and I don't know if every YouTube channel, we have Men in Sights podcast on here. We have Lantern on here as well. Maybe you guys can confirm or deny if this happened to you. But on our first episode, it took us forever to edit it. We were horrible. I think we did it in Microsoft's Windows Movie Maker, from what I remember. We spliced it together.
We edited it together too.
Yeah. Yep. It's horrible. You can watch it if you want to. I don't recommend it, but so we upload it, and Matt and I are sitting at my kitchen table. We have it uploaded. We're like, okay, let's see. And the views just start climbing. And we're like, holy shit, like we've struck gold. People love this. People love us. Our views
How's
keep
that
going
possible?
up. And,
Yeah, the episode's terrible.
Yeah, we keep hitting refresh. We're like, oh my gosh, look how successful we're gonna be. And it glitched. So the views, I don't remember what they got up to, but it
got up to like 200, I think.
Yeah, at least like instantaneous. It's probably barely at 200 now. And
Actually,
and then
surprisingly, I think it's over 1,000.
I don't know why.
If you ever go look back at our old
automatic
shit, they got a lot of views, but like no likes.
Yeah,
like 5 likes, 3,000 views.
There's a reason for that. But yeah, it totally glitched out, and we thought we were going to be famous instantaneously, and nope. We were not.
Turned out to be your kids were just going in and out.
Out. Exactly. Yep. So it was like inflating it, and then eventually it corrected and said, "Nope, here's your actual view count."
5. Favorite moment from Snyder movies. Now, I guess without really thinking about it, I guess if I thought about it, it probably changed. But the instantaneous thing that came to mind was 300. Pretty much any of the visualization from 300 would be the ones that came directly to my head, especially the first, like, I guess the first battle where they're throwing down and they're doing the slow-mo and they get that great shot of Gerard Butler's abs, and just how the camera work was done and everything, the zooming in and out, the slow-mo and everything. That scene has been like cemented in my brain for I can't since I first saw it. And 300 was very, very, very pivotal to me liking certain movies.
For me, and this actually rang true when I was watching. It's in Man of Steel, which is my favorite Snyder movie. Right before First Flight for Superman, when he's coming out of the ship.
So when he's coming out of the ship and the cape's waving.
Yep. And then it pans and it's behind him, and you have Jor-El talking over him. Even I've seen the movie hundreds of times. Listening to it in the car ride still gives me chills. That is such a powerful, awesome, just fantastic moment, and it gives you chills, and easily that's the one that sticks in my mind the most, and I love it. It's awesome.
There Will Be Blood. Yep. Excellent film. I mean, there's another one that people should check out that probably didn't get much buzz that it should. I think may have just been released today digitally and maybe Blu-ray, is The Gentleman by Guy Ritchie. If you have not seen The Gentleman, watch The Gentleman. Fantastic. It's movies like Ford v Ferrari, The Gentleman, and a couple other things that make me like, there's still, even though Disney and Warner Brothers are the 1 and 2 when it comes to pretty much the creators for what we see in theaters a lot, there's still those companies out there, the smaller ones and stuff, that will produce movies. I know Ford v Ferrari technically is a Disney movie because they bought Fox. It was originally a Fox movie, and then Disney bought them. And so, but it just shows that, like, James Mangold, Guy Ritchie, they have it, and they just need that financing and that, go make the movie you want to make. And watching those movies just shows it. 1917 too, as well.
Yeah. Oh man, love that movie.
And I mean, that is it, like, storytelling wise, like as a story, is it revolutionary? No, it's very basic military story and stuff like that. But the way it was done and the desire for the creators to try to pull this off is what just impresses me. This is a somewhat big budget action movie, and these guys went in there to do something at least different. We're not going to just make a war movie. We're going to try to present this in a creative fashion. And that's what I appreciate anyway.
Yeah. That's what I appreciate about Snyder, when you can have your run-of-the-mill type films, or big, huge box office type films, even superhero films. I've rewatched recently the first Iron Man. Freaking love that movie.
So underrated. I hate when they don't talk about it. None of people talk about it.
It's
always all the stupid shit recently because Marvel fans fucking have a goldfish memory.
But it's so well done. Yet it still kind of fits in its own, like, you could not really plug in any superhero, but it has kind of a formula to it. Especially early on, Marvel / Disney, or whoever, actually wasn't Disney at the time, but
Paramount.
They liked to, start ahead and then flash back and then, get to that point. Still really good. But when you look at, if you compare Iron Man, the first Iron Man, which I love, it's a fantastic movie, especially a fantastic Marvel movie, and Man of Steel, they're
Origin
just done.
movies.
Yeah, and they're just done so differently. And there's every scene in Man of Steel to me has importance to it. Every scene, every piece of dialogue has importance to it. And I'm not saying Iron Man doesn't have that, but that's where what I appreciate with Zack Snyder or anyone who's trying to do something a little bit different is just, think outside the box and maybe try doing something that's out of the norm, or approaching something a little bit differently. Or when Snyder was filming Man of Steel and he said, I'm going to film this with a handheld so that we're running behind the actors and stuff like that. I enjoy that. I like when directors kind of take a little bit of liberty. Maybe it doesn't pan out, and maybe it does, and you have something as fantastic as Man of Steel.
Thank you, Roy Wakefield. I'm glad. It's always good when someone notices that stuff. That's what we're trying to do. That's why we actually feel at least somewhat confident to ask for Patreons and stuff, because what we tried to do anyway. Somewhat. I'm not kidding. It's still always been hard for us to ever ask anybody for anything. Like when it comes to patrons or anything like that, it's always been really difficult. But the fucking YouTube, man, the ad revenue, Jesus. I realize now that they're not so hard on us for our language. I let that last video go. I didn't censor shit. I think we said fuck plus the videos I put in multiple times. Never got hit. So now we just don't get views. So that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Like you can say all the fucks you want, but now you don't get shit for views.
Yeah, exactly. But not advertiser friendly. Yeah,
that's what's happened. But we still get ad revenue though. We're still green. They never do it, but it's like somehow now, like the algorithms like throttled it in a different way. It's like we're not being focused on as much with the censoring and stuff. So I've blacked off of it for a little bit, but now I've noticed that's the compromise with the views. Because before we were doing fine, we were comparable to our subscription amount, but now it's like back down really hard. So
I just wanted to pull this one up. The Incredible Hulk. Yep, that's on my list. I'm kind of going back and rewatching some of the Phase 1 Marvel movies. That I enjoy a lot of them. Really, even Captain America. Just recently rewatched that one. I like Winter Soldier. That one's on my list as well to revisit. But yeah, Ed Norton, Incredible Hulk. I wish he would have stayed.
Favorite lines? Can you confirm? Are you just talking about in any movie or a Snyder movie in particular? Because any movie, it's going to be a comedy more than likely, because it's going to repeat all the fucking. It's going to be something from Dumb and Dumber, probably.
Yep, I was going to say Jim Carrey movie most of the time.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like a Snyder movie, that one becomes really difficult, because then lines. If you're talking about just a momentary point of dialogue, I would probably say the Superman question from Batman versus Superman is probably one of my favorite moments, when they have the pundits and Neil deGrasse Tyson and them going back and forth. That's probably one of my favorite parts. And I've never understood how people just don't go love that part. Even the detractors, like they're like, oh, it's the dialogue. It's so messy and everything. It makes no sense. And there's this golden scene right in the middle of the movie that just, I don't know how it doesn't hit you on every fucking level, but I guess that's what makes us different.
I know a lot of people have their opinion on Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, but again, when rewatching that only to hear the audio, I still enjoy, and I feel like he's one of the most underappreciated villains. I get he's different. He's not the classic Lex Luthor. He's annoying. And yeah, there are moments when I'm just listening to his dialogue where I'm like, man, I really want to punch you in the face. And I think that's the point. There are certain, Matt and I had, we were big professional wrestling fans growing up, and there's certain people like Owen Hart, for example, if you're familiar with him or not. Yeah, and you just want to punch him. You just want to punch him in the face. You freaking hate him. And I think that's the point. And just listening to Eisenberg's delivery, I feel like he took the role serious. I feel like he had something in mind, and he wanted to be kind of annoying and just, get it kind of just get on your nerves a little bit. And I really enjoyed a lot of his lines, delivered incredibly well.
I'm probably going to be a little predictable on this. Point Break.
I was going to say Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but
probably The Matrix. I mean, that I don't know if that's you would look at that as the Keanu movie or not, really, but it's just The Matrix to me. Again, I mean, it's got its praise and it's been analyzed to no end. but I still feel like it's still underrated somehow. I love the Matrix. I guess maybe because people kind of crap on 2 and 3. And I get some of the gripes about it. It gets a little over theatrical and stuff compared to the first one. But I don't know.
For me, it was Speed. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably John Wick. Actually, is probably my favorite Keanu Reeves one.
Oh, sorry, I clicked off your thing. Sorry,
no, that's
I just
okay.
got so excited. It's Cherry.
Yes, exactly. Rich brat, daddy issues.
Because I remember when we were reviewing it, we were like, he's one of those Silicon Valley assholes.
Yeah,
that Mark Zuckerberg ass crack. He's
he played Mark Zuckerberg. He plays that role kind of like the fidgety, not even really millennial, but basically millennial that has no social skills. Little quirky, and in this case, he's rich. He has a god complex. No one can be more powerful than me. He's going to prove it. And there's so many lines, like when he's sitting in the room with the senator, that he just delivers so well. And they like irritate you, they anger you. And again, I
can't do it as well.
that was actually pretty good. Came through on my headphones pretty good, actually.
I mean, this probably sounds like shit. Everybody's like... But Eisenberg has definitely grown on me over the time, because at first I kind of like, okay, I don't really get his point of this type of Lex. He makes sense. I get his motives and everything, but I didn't really understand what Zach was going for. I guess Snyder, because we're not on a first name basis. I didn't really
not us. Definitely not us.
I didn't really ever catch. I got him for the most part. I got it for the most part. Yeah, but then the more I watch it now, I realize now how well it works with Clark. Like the ebb and flow of these two titans in some sense, in their own regards, and Cavill being 6'2", 200 and something plus pounds of muscle, and this suit being and him in the movie being a god, and then there's Lex that's just got a lot of money and has a god complex and
scrawny bitch.
It's the true rivalry of the mismatch. What is that they say in like the UFC? Styles make fights. And stuff like that. And this I appreciate more. Zaki Poo. But I've really grown to appreciate him more and more every time I ever see the movie. And it kind of sucks that we won't. I don't know. We might see him again. It's the Snyder cut. It's going to have, he might have some scenes in that, but it just kind of sucks that concept, man, the thing that we lost on that one too.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of it. Going back and rewatching those, they're so beautiful, so well done. And then also so disappointing that we're not going to see anything afterwards.
Yeah.
And yes, exactly. I've started seeing again. This is nothing against the current Batman stuff that's going on right now, but the filming and things like that. But every time that I look and I see, I've seen a lot of them for some reason. Just I think comparisons mainly with Batfleck and the new iteration of Batman. And Batfleck to me, just like Henry Cavill epitomizes Superman, Ben Affleck is, if I were to picture a Batman, that's who it would be. And it's unfortunate that we're not getting that type of Batman again. I also rewatched The Dark Knight recently, which is a fantastic movie, but I still don't really care for Bale's Batman. It's not as annoying as he used to be.
Want The Dark Knight? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But he's not as annoying as he used to be with his voice and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to be. But when you compare him to Ben Affleck, in my opinion, Ben Affleck is comic book brought to life, and that's very hard to go against. Just
hard to unsee.
Yep,
for the most part. I saw some amazing fan art of a Batfleck one, kind of more of an armor suit. It was phenomenal to see, and I can't find it. Fuck. Oh, I think I got it here. I don't know. How do I share a screen?
It's this one. So down at the bottom, click share screen, and then you'll pull up like this thing right here. Click on this one and then see the share screen.
No.
Yeah, very bottom. Mute.
Okay.
Stop. Yeah.
I don't need to share audio, so just your entire screen. Okay. Share. Okay.
Boom.
So.
Close the Pornhub. Close the Pornhub.
Whoop. Damn it. No, I closed the wrong one.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Let's go back. We'll go back to that for now. I'll bring this back up. I meant to click on it and I closed it. You scared me. I'm like, oh shit, I had it up.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. I haven't revisited Batman Begins recently, but just similar to delivering lines, and obviously Heath Ledger's Joker is phenomenal. And I actually asked this to a lot of people who say that Christian Bale is the best Batman that's ever donned the cowl. I say, if you remove him out of it, do you just like the movies themselves, and that's what makes you go, oh, he's the best Batman, or is he really the best Batman? Because to me, I don't really think that's the case. I think his movies were obviously fantastic. I remember when Matt and I left Batman Begins, at first we freaking hated it, and then we came back. We were like even texting our friend Mike like, oh, that movie's trash. Then you rewatch it, and you're like, oh, actually it's pretty good. But I think his movies are good. I just don't think that Bale's, I don't even know if I'd put him top 3.
No, I think I'd give him that much, at least. Okay, so how do I? You know, it's screwed. I don't even know if it's worth it. So maybe I'll just retweet it later because I'm not sure how to share this properly. Anyway,
so I'm showing you close out of it.
Is this my screen?
Yeah.
Oh,
you close out of it again.
Wait. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Does this show? Does this show? If go back, does this show? Okay, there it is. There we go. I don't know if anybody can see it, but I thought that was a great fan art.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That looks amazing. And I mean, I like the bat suit, but I personally do like the armor look a lot better. Like with the Pattinson armor look, I like that. I love the armor look. I love the Bale armor look as well. And I like the little knife here too. So that's pretty sweet as well. It's not a gun, guys. Don't worry, it's a knife.
Man, so, I really wish we could have gotten 9 movies with Ben Affleck as Batman. It would have been so cool just to see what he could have done and the villains he could have went against. And there's just so many possibilities that could have happened. It would have been sweet, but.
Close all those tabs. Yeah, so yeah, I was trying to
sharing with the marks.
Yeah, that's what we do. we fucking botch everything. Another thing that I've been watching a lot lately is I rewatched anyway was House, the TV show. Oh. Man, that's a great TV show. Back when TV shows were just good. Man, House is a phenomenal TV show. Really makes me sad that like crap like that just does not get made anymore. It's just anyway.
Were we watching How I Met Your Mother? That's a good one. Our friend Tommy, that's one of his favorites.
Another one that because Shane and I were briefly talking about this, that actually, because I have Verizon, I have Disney Plus for free. I'm not an idiot to pay for it. And and I think I watched the Mandalorian and then really haven't paid attention to it. But there's actually, out of all the Disney movies, there's like one I have a soft spot for when it comes to Disney animation from childhood. And like some people may say Lion King or Aladdin, but for some reason, the Hercules movie is like mine. Yeah. I don't know why. I just like the fact that Hades is Jewish because he's always using like schlemiel and stuff like that. And obviously Bobcat Goldthwait, you know, he's one of the little demons. And it's got a great cast for voice actors. And I watched that, and so Disney Plus gives like some prompts, and I found out, and I don't know if anybody else knows this, but there's a Lion King 2, and there's like more.
We were just talking about this,
and it was garbage. Like,
you watched it?
I watched like 10 minutes of it.
Oh, okay.
And it was garbage. It was so bad. I cannot believe. James Wood. Thank you. I could not remember.
Oh, it was, I don't even think I knew that. That's fantastic.
Oh, dude, he's so good. I'm the schlemiel, and he like blows everything up. Oh, dude,
that's awesome.
Yeah, man, it's totally worth it.
I know you crap all over Disney Plus, but I actually enjoy. There's so much stuff on there, like with Star Wars. I've been able to rewatch those.
Almost none of it's original Disney content.
Yeah, hey, I don't care. Well, some of it like
way to support small businesses, Shane.
the
That's
Mighty
what I'm
Ducks.
doing right here.
Oh, okay.
The real
Small
victim
business
of the latest pandemic.
I'm supporting an even smaller business.
That ain't a business. That's a tragedy.
Oh man, but yeah, there's like the Mighty Ducks is on there. There's a lot of cool stuff. I've been rewatching the Spider-Man animated series. I'll throw that on. Clone Wars, yeah. Like there's some. You have to admit there's some good stuff on there. There is
I
not.
haven't watched it, so I watched The Mandalorian, and that's it.
The Incredible Hulk is not on there. Which I was really surprised.
I wonder if Universal, because technically Universal has the rights to they did. I think I saw something recently that they may no longer have the rights to the Incredible Hulk, so now they can make a solo Hulk movie. I believe that's what I saw. Someone can correct me, but I know that's why all of a sudden now they're going for the She-Hulk thing and everything.
Yeah,
that's kind of the idea that that I don't know, may or may not be. I don't know. I watched one season of Gossip Girl, almost finished with Mad Men season 1. My girlfriend really loved Gossip Girl. Mad Men is great. I don't know. I have actually a couple love and hate with a lot of shows. Certain shows like Mad Men, House. There's a couple other ones as well that have great like first 4 or 5 seasons or something like that. But then I don't know, creatively they just get like, well, you need to take it in a whole different direction now, and it just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
it just kind of starts falling apart for me.
You know what I found is there's a lot of series that the first season is awful. And it's not what you remember. The Office is one of them. Is Breaking Bad one of those?
Breaking Bad, the first season's tough to get through. Yeah, I know that's like the joke and everything, but it really is. It just truly is. The first
How
season.
I Met Your Mother is exactly. It's like a formula where maybe they're just trying to figure it out. But it's amazing that based on the first season, when like I said, my wife and I are rewatching How I Met Your Mother, and we watched the first season, and I was like, man, I think I'm gonna hate this show, and it's one of my favorites. And then we continued. We watched second season. Like, okay, now it's hitting its stride. The Office is the same. It's awkward. It's very weird. And you're
American version?
Man, it's the American version. It's hard to. It's kind of hard
like
to
me,
get
where
through.
I like the British versions of stuff.
The
British Top Gear. If you don't even have to like cars. British Top Gear is phenomenal. Now they do Grand Tour or whatever, but if anybody likes the British Top Gear, because it was like. It's like it was free on Prime for a little bit. I don't know if it was, but I was watching the shit out of it. Oh, Boy Meets World. That's you.
That's one of my favorites. I'm actually having my teenagers because there's a lot of good moral stories in Boy Meets World. So we're rewatching that as well, and it's on Disney Plus. So
Topanga.
Exactly, Topanga.
Topanga.
So I want to go back to this. Yes, Spider-Man animated series is campy. Something else that I'm like halfway through. If you've never seen it, watch Blank Man. I'm rewatching Blank Man. It's so campy. It's so terrible. I think he got like a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know who the fuck decided that the movie was that terrible. They're like, I'm getting on Rotten Tomatoes and critiquing this 1994 movie, or I think it's 94 or 95. But it's so fantastic. It's over the top. It's great.
All right, Fury of Firestorm, man. See you later. Have a good night as well. South Park all around great. Yeah, I mean. This season, I think they finally have not fallen, but I think they're running out of ideas a little bit. I don't know. This season was a little tough. I'm not saying that it wasn't funny. It did have some funny parts, like Mexican Joker was pretty funny, but there were some other ones that were just meh. I don't know. I felt like they were struggling this year. So they're either going to come back really strong or they might just call it and do more Broadway plays. Book of Mormon, by the way.
You can also
it's phenomenal. The Broadway play Book of Mormon is fucking great.
On Disney Plus, you can also binge all of The Simpsons. Just saying.
We watched a lot of The Simpsons too. We watched a lot of The Simpsons.
See, what'd you watch it on?
Hulu.
You're full of shit.
Well, Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, they do. There you go.
For any anime guys out there, I also
on your face.
For any anime people out there, I did also finally finished Hunter x Hunter. If anybody gives a shit about that, I don't know. Sometimes we have some closet anime people that kind of pop out every once in a while.
I know. They're like, hey, yeah.
So I finally finished Hunter x Hunter, which wow! I mean, That show was great, but that ending sucked for that anime. I could not get over how much that seemed rushed. I don't know the story behind it. I really love that guy that does the that did the story. He also did my other favorite Yu Yu Hakusho and stuff like that. And I don't know if he has a similar issue where he just rushed the shit out of it like he did that series at the very end, like he just didn't give a shit. But it felt like he didn't give a shit in the end.
I don't know anywhere to rewatch 2.5 Men, but I freaking love that show. Even a lot of people say it fell off on when Charlie Sheen left. I actually thought it was pretty sweet, but
Dexter. See, we started watching Dexter. We got through the first 2, maybe 3 seasons, but I started feeling like it was falling already into a pattern. Let me know, Liz, if you think it gets out of that. Because it just felt like it was going to be an endless thing where he's like, almost going to get caught, and he doesn't get caught. And like, it's going to get caught, and he doesn't get caught. And it just kind of felt like it was in an endless cycle of that. So if it does kind of kick out of that cycle, let me know, and maybe I'll go back to it.
You know, what's funny is one of the reasons I stopped watching The Walking Dead was because it was in that same cycle of just nonsense. We get it. Humans are worse than zombies. I get it. Okay. And it was like same perpetual type narrative that they were trying to go with. But here we are, people fighting over toilet paper. So I was like, oh, maybe I should revisit this show. It's real life.
Have you ever seen those edits that people have been doing?
Yeah.
Like when the people put the pallets out there, they put the pallets of the toilet paper out there. It's like, everyone. I mean, I almost watched people throw hands over fucking dog food here, man. It's been insane.
Didn't you say it was like old women too?
Yeah, they were probably in their 50s and stuff, and they're about to fight over dog food. Bags of dog food. I just went on a whole circle spree just trying to find something paper related. I can't find crap right now. I went to multiple places, can't find anything here. And it's kind of crazy because everybody else is talking like, oh, it's settling down in our areas and stuff. And I'm like, I went to 6 stores today and I couldn't find anything.
Big Lots. Did you try?
I went to Big Lots. Went to Big Lots. Shit. They were freaking ravaged.
I must have got lucky because I got paper towels and toilet paper.
Yeah, fuck you. Now I know where to get it.
Uh-oh. See, humans are worse than zombies. Evidence right there.
Oh, I did call it. When I was walking out of the Costco and couldn't get any and stuff like that, this one asshole he just had a jackass look on his face. And right when we walked by, I looked at his car and he had like stacks of toilet paper in his car. And I was like, you prick. And just kept walking. Nice. All I know is with those type of people, I don't even have to fight them. All I got to do is like, and they're like, ah!
And then grab it all yourself.
Yeah, I don't even have to throw one hand. What was the
more anime love?
One Punch Man is amazing. That's the one Nick was telling you to watch.
Yeah.
That because I think your kid got the little toy from it or whatever. And Samurai Champloo is also fucking awesome as well.
That's a fantastic name.
My favorite ones, I'd probably go Yu Yu Hakusho, and I don't know. I really like Attack on Titan right now too. That one's really good, even though I'm following the manga for the most part, and it's kind of getting weird and wacky. The story is really jumping the shark a little bit on that one, but. And of course, you got to always throw in the Dragon Ball Z. Season 6, you made it that far on this? Man, you're better than me because I think I paled out. I think we bailed out like what, season 4, maybe 5.
Mine was right when, and everyone said this is when it got good, but right when Negan showed up. So that was as far as I made it.
The Walking Dead never ends. That's why it is. It's never The Walking Dead. It doesn't die. Is it still going? I guess anybody answer the question?
It is. The only reason I know that is I think Hulu has advertisements for it on occasion.
Oh, what's up, Shadow Vessel? What's up? Late to the show, talking anime, finally. LOL. All right, well, we're going to end this show. No, I could talk anime all day. I got to think about it for a little bit because I got to recap all the things I've ever seen. But like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop is a great one as well, which apparently they're making a movie. I don't know if anybody noticed that. I didn't know that until somewhat recently. They're actually like filming it. No, it's a series.
No one's filming anything, but go on.
Well, okay, yeah. But it's actually crazy some of the animes that are getting made into a like live action now. Like they did a lot of different ones. It's not a movie, Liz. It's a series. My bad. I'm pretty sure it's a series actually that they're going to be doing. But I don't know. Anime is getting it's like they're definitely Hollywood is looking at anime now as maybe the new big thing or something to try to milk franchises and shit. Like I don't think they'll ever retry Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball Evolution, I think it was, that movie was fucking terrible. Oh my god, that was so bad. And it's really hard to adapt something Japanese to an American cinema where you're trying to make for mass appeal. And I think that's just like one of my favorite things, though, because everybody always talks about like the whitewashing or something like that of Japanese characters or something like that. One of my favorite things was the Full Metal Alchemist movie that they made recently in Japan, and it has all Japanese people when the story is actually based in like Germany. So that's the one time white people actually should be in a movie,
and they're like, no.
So they got this Japanese dude with this really long mane and shit and stuff. So it's actually kind of funny. That one always makes me laugh. Yeah, DBZ movie was garbage. Yeah, but it's crazy to see how much, like, I don't know anybody, the movies wise, like if you go back and watch certain movies, man, do a lot of them hold up at all? That's kind of the curious question for me, because some of them hold up like great, and some of them just fall apart so bad.
Yeah, it's funny because it's such a different level now, especially when you're talking about, CGI and stuff like that. You almost have to take that away from graphics and stuff, and maybe give some movies a pass. And some of them, unfortunately, to me, don't hold up. I can't think of any example off the top of my head, but I know there have been some that I watch and I'm like, oh, the CGI is just so bad in this, or the graphics are just so bad that it makes it hard to watch.
Titanic got funnier. I'll say that. Watching people. Oh, I did watch a new one. I did watch because this actually kind of, I don't know if it's really that funny of a story, but I noticed on Netflix actually months ago the movie Outbreak, which is a movie from the mid-90s. And I always wanted to click on it because it had Morgan Freeman in it. And I'm like, fuck, I'll watch any movie with Morgan Freeman in it. Then I watched like the trailer that they have on Netflix and stuff for this stuff, these type of things. And it looked like a made-for-TV movie. It looked really bad. So I kind of bailed away from it. But every time I kept seeing like Morgan Freeman when I was clicking through Netflix, I'm like, oh, I should just watch that. And now because of all the crap going on, it's like ranked number 7 on Netflix's shit. So I finally just like gave in and watched it. And yeah, I was right for TV.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it's just that 90s cheese where like, of course the military is just going to fucking decimate a city and no one's going to know about it because they're not like really. They had cell phones, but like there's no social media. There's just like it's just like this brazen thing. Like they could just bomb the shit out of a city in California and be like, yeah, that was never there. It's like The Simpsons, where they're like Springfield never existed. They put a dome over it and like come visit the new canyon in Springfield, like fucking in the Springfield movie or the Simpsons movie and shit. That's what I kind of like.
That is one thing that always makes me laugh in terms of like watching older movies, even like Iron Man, which is only 2008, and they're old cell phones and stuff. You're like, oh man, Tony Stark is supposed to be rich, and his cell phone is awful. It's a good thing they like kind of went away from cell phones in some of the later movies. But one movie that I thought about watching that I just recently heard about. It's with Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight on The Office, and it's called Super. Apparently it came out like 10 years ago or something, and it was when he was like in the height of being on The Office. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll rent this or something. I saw it's available for rent on Amazon Prime Video, and I watched the trailer. It kind of reminds me of Kick-Ass a little bit. Like this guy is tired of, getting bullied or whatever. And he decides like, oh, I'm going to go to a comic book store. And then a girl helps him. And so I haven't, if any of you guys have seen Super, let me know if it's worth the watch. It looked kind of corny. I don't know. I wasn't sure if it was worth the $4.
You poor thing. You lost that on. I do. Actually, one thing I wanted to talk about was all these earlier releases that they're doing now. So like Bloodshot. What was that Disney movie?
Onward.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Onward and all that. So one of the things that I feel like is a misstep is that you have to straight up buy them. It isn't like, I don't know. You just don't have the opportunity to like, okay, give a feel for it. They charging the full $19.99 or whatever price, and I feel like they should have like a $9.99 rental, like at home, or $8 or something, or $7.99, something like that. Ease into it a little bit and make it a 72-hour rental or something, and maybe that's how they should have done it. I don't know. I feel like your movie's going to do even worse, like as a release now, because it had no box office, and now the only way people can watch it is if they pay for it. It didn't seem to be like there really isn't any rental capacity, because I was looking at it on Prime and they're like early access for all these things. I'm like, but they're all charging full price, and it just didn't seem to make sense to me.
Yeah, so we debated. It is kind of weird. Onward is supposed to hit Disney Plus here within like 2 weeks or something like that, and we had debated before this whole pandemic came out. It was before the pandemic was released. We were going to take my youngest to see Onward, and it would easily be over $20 for us to go see that. Just between even minimum of 3 of us plus popcorn and snacks. So we had debated, do we go ahead and buy it? I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. We've elected right now just to wait to see. But that's kind of, like with Bloodshot, I made the same argument in my head of like, well, if I went and watched it, I'd probably go with Matt most likely. and we'd pay, hold on, there it is. We'd pay at least $20. So, and then I get to own it. The thing that's frustrating is, it's $20. You don't know how the movie's going to be. It's just going to be, you have to buy it now at this point. So it's kind of weird. We did do that with Jumanji 2. I can't remember if it was rental or buy, but we watched that one, which was I know it was an earlier release as well. So I wanted to circle back on this on Super. It was James Gunn as well. I remember seeing something that I think Rainn Wilson said, oh yeah, it's a very unknown director, James Gunn, and he was kind of like joking when he was talking about it. So it sounds like that might be on my list.
All right, guys, it's a little over an hour now. That was kind of our just quarantine stream, just chilling. Helping out small companies that are really struggling during these times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on that note, for a small company, we have a Patreon. If you want to
fucking chill. God, always chilling. Always.
Yeah, of course.
Chilling every day, chilling every night.
But thank you to everyone who.
Oh no way! Did you really, Kevin? Just join. What's up, y'all? We were just doing a sign out.
Wow. Oh man.
All right, Kevin, ask us anything. You get 2 questions. We'll stay on just for you, Kevin.
2 questions. I'm just kidding.
Okay, 3. I don't know. Am I lowballing them or 2.5? Ask us anything, Kevin, since you just came in. What do you want to say? We'll give you a chance. No? Maybe. I know there's a pretty good delay. I think it's like 45 seconds, so I guess we got to be patient here. But I kind of feel bad that he really did just
Corn stream. Ah, man. See, we are not marketing guys. That would have been fantastic. That's what we should have called it.
I'm changing everything.
But we suck.
I can still change it. Who's your favorite spider?
Oh my gosh.
That question is gonna haunt me so much.
On that note.
That and what about the Wonder Woman theme?
Oh my god. And then the guy who was asking about the lenses and stuff. Okay,
that was
cool.
Watchmen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Watchmen. Which at first I thought was kind of a cool question, but then he really dragged it out.
And he kept asking. He kept, but was it this? Was it this? Was it? Dude, shut up. Like, it was all this stuff. And I don't remember when the Spider-Man question came, but I do remember it was a lot of this that was building up Matt's frustration and impatience when eventually he goes, release the Snyder cut. Fuck.
Dude, I actually found somewhat recent, because I was going to post something to Twitter and social media. Triggered Matt's PTSD. Yeah. I actually, I was going to post something for the SnyderCon anniversary type thing of the question being asked and me yelling that and shit. But I just never got around to posting it. I actually made the video. I just didn't post it for some reason. But there was a camera that actually did one of the Vero camera actually did catch me doing it. You could barely see me in the very, very fucking back, but you could see me put my hands up and then fucking yell it, and then my hands go up even more. And I think that's when I said fuck. I got nothing. I'll make the next one.
Well, thanks for joining. You can rewatch it. Comment on. Just leave us 1,000 comments.
You were in the front, man.
Nice.
Actually, I don't know. Hey, hold on. Let me. I don't know. Oh wait, can I share? Hold on. I'm trying to see something. Hold on. I got the video right here on the desktop, so I just feel like I'll just share it with everybody. Share screen. Oh wait, share screen, share audio. I have no idea if this is going to come through, guys.
Did you share your screen?
Hold on. Okay. I'm just going to try that. Does that just share that? Like if I hit that, does it show it at all? The video?
Yeah, it's showing. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear it? The audio?
No.
Okay. I have no idea if it shows the audio.
Shadow Vessel does say you can leave a link in the description.
So this is the camera view. Now, I don't know if you can see my mouse. I actually put an arrow here. I'm way the fuck back here. So the kid asked the question about, maybe your director's cut will come out. I had this whole plan to post on social media, and I just never got to it. Now here I did a little zoom for everybody. See my hands go up, and then my hands shoot up right there. So that was me right there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that's how far back I was when I yelled it. All right, so
fantastic.
We'll stop sharing that. Oh, perfect. Does that just go right there? So anyway, there we go. I shared it. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not. It says share audio on this thing, so I have no idea if it shares the audio or not of me yelling it. But yeah, that was it. I've never seen it before, and I've never seen that angle before. Look at that social distance. And yeah, that was crazy. That's crazy. I've never seen that angle. And there's my hands going up, and I'm actually now wondering when my hands went up like that. That was me yelling "fuck."
Possibly. I swear that's and you like fell back in your seat.
Couldn't hear. Okay, you couldn't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, that was the point where I couldn't hear it either.
Oh, okay. It said share audio, so I don't know what it shared. I could hear it on here, but that doesn't mean shit. So, yeah, that was it. I was gonna post that on social media, but I just never got to it. But anyway, so that's gonna end this stream, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. Oh my god,
I got one. Okay, how many months prior? Okay. How many months prior to release should the Snyder Cut be announced? Now, see, this is the thing. That I think I don't know. It's just a lot of factors, man. The fact that the additional photography he wants to do requires a lot of moving parts. He said Superman, Batman. So now you got to get Henry Cavill on board, which kind of seems like a little bit of a tough sell right now. Maybe. Then you have to get Ben Affleck back, and he has to be in reasonable Batman shape. So we don't know the extent of the scenes, but we know he wants those characters in there, and then Lewis or Lois, whoever it may be. So he has to get all them back for a shoot, multiple shoots possibly. And I really feel like when that decision was made, that delayed this thing to a significant point to where I used to think it was going to come out this year. But when he announced that, I was like, I don't think it, especially now with this infection.
Well, I think what Kevin's asking is when the Snyder Cut is going to come out, how far in advance?
Oh, yeah,
should they say, hey, the Snyder Cut's coming out? What I would say would be really cool is when they can finalize, we are going to film these scenes to kind of letting everyone know, and then that's when they announce it. So then now people are, you kind of build the hype, and maybe it takes 9 months or so for you got to film it, splice it into the movie, finalize it and everything, and then roll the movie out. I'm just kind of spitballing there, possibly 9 months, but that's what I think would be ideal. Maybe don't have the scene finished behind the scenes. Maybe you can, but I think it'd be really cool to say, they roll it out. Warner Brothers says Zack Snyder's Justice League, being released on this date, and filming additional cinematography to
all
finalize
new
it.
scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Just stuff like that, and it's going to come out, bam, this date.
So I would say, honestly, if they have a date, if they have a release date, I would think a good hard marketing campaign would be 3 months out. Like, that's when you start posting everything on social media, really showing people that this is a different movie, and the hype can just carry it from there. We've been carrying it pretty much from this point anyway.
But
Snyder really has.
Yeah. So you're saying once the scenes are already complete.
Yeah.
So everything's
just
done.
Just like that pitiful little scene they showed with Superman coming out of the ship for when they were trying to release that like one extended scene for the Justice League.
Yeah.
They could show like a couple things and whatever one major thing. Like maybe if it's done, Harry Lennox's transformation, or Martha's transformation into Martian Manhunter, or Harry Lennox, like a brief glimpse in black, like just something like that. And people will be like, fuck, like just a glimpse of like a green eye or a green face, red eye, and like maybe show the X a little bit of Martian Manhunter, just like very brief, then black, boom, you got your first commercial right there, first trailer for and then 3 months of that marketing is solid. I really don't think you need to have a huge marketing time. I don't know. That seems a little much.
Yeah,
or a dark side monologue. That's a good one.
I just think if you start, I would agree 3 months. If it's done, if everything is done and we're not aware that it's done, they redo all the scenes, blah blah blah. Then I think 9 months, or I'm sorry, I think 3 months is ideal. But if they are going to include that as a part of the marketing, we have this movie, as Matt said, it's way different, and now we're filming, we're finalizing it, or whatever they want to say. Then you can, push it out and say, all right, December of 2020, it's coming out. We're filming these scenes. And then now you have a whole lot of people who are like, oh crap, they're doing more scenes, and what are they adding, and blah, blah, blah. And how are they finalizing it? And you gain a little bit of traction that way as well. But if all that stuff is done, 3 months, I'd say if it's 3 months for me, one trailer. I just want one.
Yeah, I would say one, I don't know, maybe two. I don't know. TV spots possibly would be a thing. It's going to be really interesting how they market it as well, because it's a live stream thing, or it's not live stream. It's an HBO Max thing. So it's not hitting cinemas. Well, in this case, it's not hitting cinemas. It might have a cinematic release in theaters, but it's a kind of a weird thing. How do you push a movie like this that's going to be on a streaming service? Because like I don't really remember that much Mandalorian stuff for the TV series. Like I remember like a trailer, nothing really after that. They didn't have like TV spots. They advertised Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't really the did I call it the Mandarin? The Mandalorian. I think I just did it again.
No, I think you called it the Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a case. It's some give or take. You got to see, and I think HBO Max is sitting back watching Disney Plus. Be like, okay, let's not do their fuck ups. We need constant content flow to keep us interested, to keep us in the limelight. So it's going to be an interesting thing. I would say one, maybe two, or at least a modified one, because there is a rumor that he already has one in the can that he was planning to release at one point as well, before he was removed, before he left the project. So he might already have that one in the can, and that could kind of be a good little kickoff one, because it may already have some existing footage that we've seen, and then give us one good, solid, like really super Snyder-y trailer. And I call it good from there.
I think it would be cool to have maybe a trailer and then like maybe a scene. Maybe there's a scene that they leaked that we haven't seen before that's doesn't really release like a whole lot of information. yeah, it's 2 hours. Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, that's it, guys.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta go.
All right.
We got lost there in a second.
Really appreciate all the additional questions. We'll try to do this, more often. We just thought it'd be fun, talk about some of the stuff we've been doing. We're all in quarantine, trying to stay, stay sane and just fill our time. So I thought this would be fun. Really cool. And thank you, Kevin. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and so we're trying to do more live streams in general for the most part. That's been one thing that we been trying to strive for this year, to do more live streams, and I think we've done a pretty good job at that so far. Probably the next thing we might do, actually, maybe I shouldn't fucking say anything because nothing is ever a certainty.
Yeah, we ruin it all all the time. But yeah,
I was gonna say Batman and Robin is definitely coming down the pike.
After Batman Forever, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and for the Batman and Robin watch along, Film Junkie said he would join us. So we would probably have going to be a collaborative watch along for Batman and Robin. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm just kind of just saying shit right now to say shit. So anyway, talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Some awesome live stream. This was great. Always fun. In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.